Hey everybody, welcome into the Wager Talk TV YouTube channel. I'm Tony Mejia from sportsmemo.com, and we're going to be looking at Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It goes off on Wednesday night at 8:30. Taping this on a Tuesday after the news has come down that Kristaps Porzingis may or may not play due to an injury. He suffered a torn retinaculum. Say that 3 times fast. And that has created a situation where he's dislocated his posterior tibialis tendon in his left ankle. And so at this point, it's going to be a situation that the training staff for Boston will look to see if he can manage without doing damage. And if he can, I think he'll be out there. And if he can't, they will hold him out and hope that some healing will ensue over the next couple of days with all of these games, having a couple of days between their contests. I think we'll see a situation where they'll exercise caution with Porzingis, especially with a 2-0 lead. So at the moment, there hasn't been much movement after the announcement of Porzingis' injury. The number was Dallas -2. There are some 2.5s out there. The total is at 212.5, 213. And we'll see if the betting public shoots this up a little bit in the Mavericks' favor. Dallas obviously lost the first 2 games of the NBA Finals, the first in a lopsided fashion, and the second they were either 6.5 to 7-point dogs and lost by exactly 7. Controversial finish because I thought P.J. Washington was indeed fouled on a late dunk attempt that could have cut that lead to 3 points inside the final 35 seconds, but no whistle was called, and then the Celtics came down, scored, and the Mavericks basically waved the white flag. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously, there's a venue change. The series now shifts to Dallas's American Airlines Arena, where the Mavs were 25-16 during the regular season and 5-3 during this postseason. Every team that they faced in the playoffs, the Clippers, the Thunder, and the Timberwolves, all took a game off of the Mavs in Dallas. They are 4-4 against the number at home. And the Celtics on the road in these playoffs are a perfect 6-0, 3-3 against the number. But one caveat there, they have been favored in all 6 games against the Heat, the Cavs, and the Pacers due to the injuries that all 3 of those teams faced. So this is their first time in an underdog role since April 9th, a regular season loss that they suffered against the Milwaukee Bucks, playing without both Al Horford and Porzingis. They dropped that game 104-91. The Bucks were at full strength and took care of business. But again, that's been now 2 months ago, and a lot of basketball has happened since then. So we'll see if Porzingis plays. Boston is plus 25 in the 44 minutes that they've played with him on the floor, and completely even in the 50 minutes without him. So clearly, this is a major development here. Drew Holiday, if you watched the Game 2 video, I told you to sprinkle in Drew Holiday MVP odds, and he went off in Game 2 and obviously was the best player on the floor, and his MVP odds have shifted dramatically. He went for 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists in that game. He is a series high plus 26 for Boston, and MVP odds that were at in the plus 3,500 range are now down to plus 750 at DraftKings. And I still would advise you to go on Drew Holiday, because I also said you might want to go with Jaylen Brown as the MVP in this series prior to Game 2. And he is now the MVP favorite, surpassing teammate Jason Tatum. At DraftKings, the numbers are Jaylen Brown plus 140, Jason Tatum plus 150. So clearly it's up in the air. And considering that the Celtics have won with a collective approach, Drew Holiday is right there to be named series MVP. Remember, the media votes on these, so it is subjective, and Holiday is right there odds-wise. That's the only play you can make right now, is Drew Holiday to win MVP as far as Boston is concerned. If you like Dallas and you think that they're going to come back and win this series or even push it to 7, then I would say right now Luka Doncic MVP odds are as high or as good as they're going to get. You can get plus 600 on Luka entering Game 3. Again, if they lose Game 3, they're going to be done for the series, basically, for all intents and purposes. But if they win, Luka's MVP odds will probably come down into the plus 200, plus 300 range. So at 6-1, now is the time to get in while the getting's good. If you think Luka Doncic is going to bring Dallas back in this series. PJ Washington was the only starter with a positive plus minus, and we did cash on him. I told you that was my favorite prop for game 2, and we're going to go back to it in game 3. His plus points, rebounds, and assists are 22.5. He surpassed that in game 2. I think he surpasses that in game 3. Also take a look at his three-pointers made, which is 1.5. He shoots it much better at home than on the road. I expect PJ Washington to play 40 minutes again, and I expect him to have another big game. As far as X Factor Kyrie Irving, I don't think you can count on him right now, although Dallas absolutely needs him to turn it on. His PRA is at 32.5, which is certainly attainable if he can get to 25 points. So I would bet the points thing either way if you want to fade him, or if you think that he will find his rhythm at home where he's not being booed mercilessly like he was in Boston, then he would be a play. Luka Doncic's PRA is 52.5, extremely high, but he has scored 30 or more in both games 1 and 2, and that didn't cut it. He should be healthier for game 3, and in game 2, he was listed as questionable on game day. And had to do a lot of treatment just to play. So I think a couple of days off will do him well. And I expect him to be big. I think if you want to bet the over on his points total, I think he knows he's got to score in this game. And at home, he'll be comfortable doing so, especially if Kristaps Porzingis isn't in the paint for 20, 25 minutes to be a driving force in the Boston defense and keep Doncic from penetrating, which has been a huge factor in this series so far. Derek Lively has been a non-factor, and I think that changes a little bit. Lively was a minus 15 in game 2. His blocks total is, basically get a block at minus 155, and you cash that prop. I think Lively will do that. Maxi Kleber is giving them nothing thus far. He's played 35 minutes in the series, 1 for 5 with 2 rebounds, and he's out there to stretch the floor and is 0 for 2 from 3. I don't think Jason Kidd can keep throwing him out there. Therefore, I like Lively's props, and I like Daniel Gafford to continue to be the center for as long as he avoids foul trouble for the most minutes in this game 3. Gafford over 1.5 blocks will pay out plus 170 in game 3. I think that's certainly worth a look. With Porzingis' status up in the air, Al Horford over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a must bet. I think even if Porzingis does gut it out and gives Boston 15 minutes, I think Horford's role in this series has just been intensified. And, you got Drew Holiday at 24.5 PRA. Got to bet the over on that. He's just been dominant. He's averaging 19 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 4 assists in the series. I think he continues to be somebody that remains extremely productive because who are you going to double off of? Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum? I think they'll take their chances with Holiday continuing to be productive. So that's where we're at. We love the overs on the PRAs of Al Horford, PJ Washington, and Drew Holiday. And I really like Luka Doncic's over in his scoring prop. I also like the over on Derek Lively's blocks prop if you're willing to eat the juice at minus 155. Again, keep an eye out on that spread. If you like the Mavs, you might want to bet them sooner than later because with Kristaps Porzingis potentially not playing, that number could shoot past the key number of 2.5 into the 3.5 range. And the total is at 212, 212.5, 213. That's the lowest in the series. All right, everybody. I wish you luck for game 3. Come back for game 4 and make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to all our videos here at Wager Talk TV. You can get a $20 off a 3-day pass from me. I'm capping Euro 2024, Copa America next week. Obviously, the NBA Finals, WNBA, and MLB regular seasons are both going well for me. So a 3-day pass, you can get $20 off by using coupon code TM30day. That's TM30DAY. Follow me on Twitter at Mejia Dinero, the spelling down there below. And keep in mind that we have a site-wide special going on at Sports Memo. 7 days all access for just $64. You certainly want to look into taking advantage of that. I'm Tony Mejia from Sports Memo, wishing you a wonderful Wednesday and a profitable Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Thanks for watching.